Hey guys, it's DC Coding. I'm making another video on the next section of the Odin project just to kind of document my progress through this, and hopefully I'll have the entire thing done in a couple of weeks or months. So last video I posted, basically my first video, was on foundations, and I basically went over my thoughts on it as a beginner in 2023 going into the Odin project to learn web development. I thought it was pretty good, and it gave you a good foundation to start getting more into web development through like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I did a good job at doing that, and I was pretty happy with how my projects turned out. So naturally, I just jumped straight into the intermediate HTML and CSS, which is also the JavaScript full stack path. I'm just going to click resume here, or I'm going to click review, and as you can see, I've completed the intermediate HTML and CSS course, and it's honestly pretty tame. It's not that bad. I learned about a lot of cool things that I was wanting to learn about, such as grid, and I took a peek at grid because I wanted to use it for my calculator project in the foundations course, but I wasn't too comfortable with it. This section really forces you to, or it pushes you to, get comfortable with grid. I'm still not completely comfortable with grid, but the last project and section of the grid, I guess, section really tells you to don't use Flexbox, use grid, and figure it out. And I really like that because I am pretty comfortable with Flexbox, but I wanted to do the things that I do with Flexbox with grid just so I can see the flexibility of grid. Anyways, we also have a sign up form here, and forms are, in my opinion, a lot of information to take in at one time, but maybe it was just the way that I learned it. I just took all of the text from this at once and didn't even try to practice it until the sign up form. And it's also maybe compounded with the fact that none of this has a project, all of this intermediate CSS concepts, such as like we have default styles. It's nothing. CSS units, like, it was cool to learn about REM and EM. I use REM a lot more now. It's pretty good for responsiveness. And where is it? The variables. I think the variables are, I think it's the, what is the variables? Is it custom properties? Yeah, this stuff. I wanted to practice with this more often. So the custom properties I'll probably be messing around with a little bit more moving forward. But I really wanted to be tested on that just so that I didn't feel like I had to include all of these things into the sign up form without practicing them. I also enjoyed being introduced to the idea of a framework and a preprocessor just so that I can know that they're there. And I'm definitely interested, but for now I'll continue doing all this with vanilla JavaScript and CSS just so I can get super comfortable with it before moving on to a framework or a library. Moving on to the form, this is my sign up form right here. The project basically has you recreate a sign up form that they have, and I just added a little spin to it. This is a completely made up place. I don't know if anybody has made this name before, but probably, considering I thought of it in 2 seconds. I'm not that creative. So I linked the credit down here to this guy in Unsplash. Thank you, Carl. And then the sign up form works. Oh, probably cover that. But anyways, the sign up form just has like the email, phone number, password, all that stuff. And then it doesn't work obviously, but it was a fun exercise to lay out things with Flexbox because I didn't know a grid here, and mess with forms. Now moving on, last project was the dashboard, and the dashboard was a lot of fun to do. Both of these projects didn't take too long, to be honest. They just took a couple of hours, and I think I could refine them a little bit more, but I'm pretty happy with how they came out. This is my admin dashboard. I did this on my laptop, so it looks a lot better on the laptop. I just came to this my desktop with a higher resolution. It doesn't look great, but I can work on that. The site still functionally works though. As you can see, if anybody plays or watches Super Smash Bros. Melee, it's kind of themed around it. You have like the little trending tab with these guys over here, you know, these guys, and none of these work either. But the main idea of this project was to mess around with grid and lay things out. If I inspect it, this is a bit more of how it looked on my laptop when I was working on it, so the spacing's a little bit more comfortable. It looks a little too bland and too much white space on my full resolution. But yeah, this isn't fully responsive, but the grid kind of works a little bit. I'll have to work on fixing this. I didn't add any media queries, but when it gets tiny, it's just like really gross. But for the most part, it works, and I'm pretty happy with how this came out. But aside from that, that is the intermediate HTML and CSS course. It was a pleasure to do, and I'm looking forward to starting the JavaScript path, or the course for JavaScript. Looks like a lot of stuff to learn, and I already started a little bit because I was interested. But I'll definitely make a video either when I'm done with the entire thing or partway through it, because there is a lot of stuff here and a lot of projects that look really fun to do. But hopefully I get through them quickly. I'm excited. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and appreciate you if you watch or leave a comment. But take care, and feel free to give me any feedback. Take care.